to the final panel discussion for the day on innovation in higher education and future possibilities, a far-sighted approach. I would like to call upon the moderator for this panel, Dr. Lakshmi Mohan, Director, ITM Business School, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Welcome, ma'am. A big round of applause, everybody. And the panelists, Dr. Ganesh Rao, Director, Pune Business School, Maharashtra. Dr. Ganesh Rao. Professor Vijay Tandon, Director, PGDM and International Programs, Universal Business School, Mumbai. Welcome, sir. A big hand, everybody, please. Dr. Bahubali Shiragpur, Director, School of Computer Science, Engineering and Applications, D.Y. Patil International University, Pune. Welcome, sir. Dr. Ramachandra V. Pujeri, Dean, Engineering, Director, Strategic Planning, MIT Art, Design and Technology University, Pune, Maharashtra. And Dr. Shruti Patil, Head, AI and ML, Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Symbiosis International Deemed University, Pune. Welcome, ma'am. Over to you, Lakshmi, ma'am.
So the first panel discussion was about national education policy, which again talked about something very innovative, coming into all the campuses. The second one talked about evolving role in EdTech in higher education. Again, looking at the future of learning and skilling. And the third one was enabling innovation in the various functions for the institutions. So if you looked at, the panel discussions, all of them actually were talking about innovation. Now we are going to sum up innovation in all the institutions. So innovation is, actually seeing change in an opportunity. And unless and until we all innovate, I don't think we would have been able to even see this day. If you ask me about the macro aspect of innovation, it is actually culture, space, and technology that is very vital for innovation. So when we say culture, we are already seeing that culture being injected in institutions through, say, NEP, through the national education, national higher education qualification framework, the national skills education framework, and so many such changes that are happening in educational institutions. So the culture is changing. The culture is changing for bringing in quality education. If we have to talk about space, yes, I think every institution has its own constraints or has its own advantages. And when I say space, I'm talking about virtual space, I'm talking about labs, I'm talking about the kind of infrastructure also that requires for innovation to happen. And thirdly, technology. Yes, technology is life. Technology, I would say, is oxygen, it's the future. And even if we have to look at how we have moved, especially during the pandemic, and when we saw that all of us were almost paralyzed and did not know how to get back to classrooms, I think technology worked fine for all of us. So technology also has brought in so many changes in our institutions, right from the enrollment to placement, and to also manage alumni and various other stakeholders. So technology is here to stay. And if you actually look at institutions' perspective, I think every institution would look at, these 5 Ps for innovation. People, you need to have people, and you also need to look at how you can change the mindset of people, because unless and until the mindset changes, you will not see innovation happening. So people are the pillars for innovation. Then you also have, the product. All of us are dealing with some or the other product. Either it's an engineering program that we are running, or a management program, or a design. We all of us have to look at how we can make this product more attractive, how we can make the students attract and become employable with the product offering that we have. So a lot of innovation calls for even in the product area. Process. I think so many of us have already moved into making, bringing in processes, bringing in automation, making a placement process easier, making an admission process manageable. So there is so many such processes that we have brought in, and especially with, NBA and various other accreditations that we are all following, I think it's important for us to be methodical, systematic, follow certain process, and automation has made this happen. Apart from this, I don't think as educational institutions we would like hearing this, but I must mention profit. And if not profit, then public funding or government funding. I think this is very important for us to innovate, because that's what also brings in that infrastructure which is essential for innovation. And most important, which we should not miss out, is planet. So if we innovate, I think we have to keep this planet in mind. We have to see to it that the best comes out of our innovation. We are able to move from egocentric to ecocentric, bringing in better things, better students, better stakeholders, and all that's suitable for the planet. So thinking larger, thinking more futuristic is what is essential, and thinking holistic, where we look at planet and not just the institution when we look at innovation, is again very vital. So here we have eminent panelists who will share their thoughts, and let me first ask Professor Vijay Tandon, who has got an international program, I understand, and we would like to know what is the future of internationalization in education. Yes, to a certain extent, it is already there, but with more foreign universities setting their institutions in India, we also would like to know what's the future of internationalizations, and also what's the innovation that can happen there. Over to you, sir.
Sure. In the very first place, I would say that I have not come in as a speaker, I have come in as a learner. And I had great learning since morning, since Dr. Ashok Kumar started with, and Mr. Sabyasachi followed, and then from each of the panelists, and that continues. So if I were to look at innovation personally from my experiences, observations, interactions, in the very first place, I cannot imagine or think about higher education without innovation. And what problem I personally see when I interact with colleagues in the outside world as well, everybody believes that when we talk about innovation, it's about disrupting the methodologies. It's about disrupting the teaching and learning methodologies. I think that's not true. Sometimes it could be just, strategically molding or engineering to crop up with more good ideas or foster collaboration or maybe creativity. What is very important, I think, is that we are all in an ever-changing global economy, so it is imperative for all the institutions across the globe to really think outside the box. Now, when we have global partners, it does help in terms of developing a sound program. So I would say that one of the vision of Universal Business School, that is what I'm representing here, is to create the global leaders of tomorrow. Now, that's not possible if they don't understand what it takes to shine in a multicultural environment. That can be the biggest challenge. I think all the panelists have been talking about skills, but this is also equally important. Like somebody did talk about attitude and behavior. So what it takes to really compete in the global environment, that's very important. So we do engage our global partners, and we do engage the people from the industry, because they are the best to tell us what is so very relevant. So that's where I believe that in your curriculum, it's very important to take the say of the global partners, because finally at the end of the day, my students are going to go to the partner university and study there. So it has to be a collaborative approach, and that really matters a lot.
Yeah, Dr. Ganesh Rao, this question is for you.
Yeah.
There is so much that we are talking about digital and hybrid delivery, which has actually become the norm, right? But what are we looking at here? Transformation in pedagogy, infrastructure, culture. What is your take about this?
Right. See, over the past 2 years, particularly after the COVID, digitalization acceptance has become very normal. Everybody, each of us is talking about a future and that everything is going to be digital, or a lot is going to be digital. We just have to look back at our economy. Our economy, 140 crores. 100 crores live in the non-metro cities. Okay, so we are a world by itself. India is a world by itself. India has got the third world, it's got the second world, it's got a developed world. It's also got an upper crest which is very connected. So we can talk about internalizations. We can also talk about developing. So what I mean to say is, education should be relevant to the economy. The relevance to the economy. We are all in the blind pursuit of internationalization, which is fine. Okay, we need to be, we should stand out, but we should impact our own industry, our own economy. So coming back to digitalization, what's going to really happen in this pursuit of offline and online, both are going to coexist in this country. What is going to be most successful? It's a race. Both will have their own segments. And 5 years from today, 10 years from today, you would see that both of them have ultimately done good to the student, to the corporate world, to the teachers, and to the community at large. In this race, the student will benefit. So let's not be very judgmental and say that digital is going to be future or offline is going to be future. India is so wide and vast that one thing that can definitely be said is the quality of teaching will improve. Because digitalization will get on the screen the teacher, how he teaches. So whatever said and done, quality of teaching is going to improve, and things will go, we have now got 5G, so things will get rapid with digitalization. But again, acceptance is another very big, is a big challenge in some cases. In some cases where there are underprivileged people, they're accepting it. They say, we're so fortunate to have somebody from Bombay teach us in Kolhapur or in down smaller cities. So not being judgmental, ultimately this is going to be good to the student, to the industry, to the faculty, and to the community at large. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, digitalization is here to stay for very long. But I'm sure there will also be a lot of innovations that will happen within, especially with metaverse and, making us be there where we are not. So I think we are going to see a brighter future with a lot of new innovations that's going to happen. Professor Bahubali, this question is for you. You are from computer engineering background, right? So
basically, I am an electronics engineer.
yeah, but you run a
Right,
college
right.
which is of computer engineering. So this question is about, the IT challenges which are persisting within higher education, and how do we overcome this?
This is the right question. Thank you, madam. I have been, I have 2 decades of experience into Savitribai Phule University. I worked at various institutes. So I started my career from Crompton Greaves, Sanjeevani Group of Institutes, MIT, D.Y. Patil Education Group. So I got a chance to work with now International University with Prabhat Ranjan, who has worked with Abdul Kalam sir. The question is, what are the challenges about IT challenges, right? So we need to have a good infrastructures when we are dealing with the cutting edge courses like, now we are talking about AI, data science, augmented reality, virtual reality, Madam mentioned metaverse. So it looks, it sounds very nice to hear, but when you are asking graduates to work on cutting edge technology, we need to provide a good infrastructures. To tell you, so when the student is working on cloud computing, we need to provide a good internet connectivity. So then how the student will, get connect with the cloud and work his algorithm and, say that my algorithm working best. Today we are working with, at our university, we are working in a quantum computing, we are working in a AI domain, data science, IoT, robotics AI, blockchain technology, transport intelligence. So what we have done, so even I invited my colleagues so to come and visit what we are doing. We are sharing the knowledge to helping nearby institutes, wherein we can you can internalize our expertise, develop the core expertise, and help each other. So to tell you about IT challenges, wherein what we are doing. So every laboratories which we have connected with the optical fiber connectivity, that has helped us. Even student to work in remote login, they can do it with a good internet connectivity. So we have provided them GPU also. So wherein they can do a good computing, they can do it even remotely they can do it. So that has helped even in pandemic. That has helped in pandemic, like wherein student can work. We have made their study room as in laboratories. What we call their entire laboratory we made into the bag, lab into the bag concept. So there are challenges, but yes, we can, as in leaders, we can provide them a best infrastructure that will help them to learn more and more. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, infrastructure, IT, bringing in the right kind of equipments, all this is important when we talk about an institution. But innovation also has to go into strengthening every student or every faculty who is with us. So at ITM, we tried out this. There were three important innovations that we tried out. One was a leadership lab that we started, which talks about mental models, empathy walk, and so many other essentials for a leader to have those qualities to lead people. This was undoubtedly an innovation because we had never thought about this many years back, but it was very recent. So we created this as a lab because everything has to be experiential for the students to also understand the importance. The second one that I would like to mention here is the idea hubs. So the idea hubs is where we brought in people from different departments. So there would be one coming from, say, marketing department, another from operations, third from human resource. And we felt that it was very important for all of them to get together to ideate. So this was another way we experimented to innovate. So we picked up, at random problems or, areas where we wanted to improve. And we called for people who would want to collaborate and do this. We had people coming collectively from different departments, creating idea hubs. They formed idea hubs. And then, this was one way we generated more ideas and innovations. Systems thinking approach, again, breaking silos, bringing departments together, collective functioning instead of working in silos, because we're so used to working in isolation, especially pandemic, I think, gave us this message that you can still work alone at home. But we wanted to break that, and then we brought in systems thinking approach. So there are a couple of innovations that we have tried out, very simple innovations, but I think they really worked out well for us. Ma'am, I would like to know what are those innovations that you have tried out in your institution?
Yeah, am I audible?
Take this.
Okay. Many ideas to share with everyone. The first kind of innovation that we have implemented with all our students is that in the first year itself, they have lots of tinkering. So tinkering in the sense, even the computer science student will go in the mechanical labs and study how basic machines of mechanicals are learning. They will go in the civil engineering lab and they will also study that how civil engineering basic structures are also working. Why? Because again, for innovation, I feel that lots of multidisciplinary approaches are needed. And in that case, even a computer science or an AI student should understand what problem to solve. Because nowadays, it is very easy to find the solution. It is very difficult to find the right problem to solve. So because of that reason, rather than teaching them 50 different softwares and 50 different tools, it is, I think, better to teach them how to think first. which is very much important. Otherwise, the gap between the industry and the academia will always be there, because industry will keep on bringing newer technologies, and at the academic level, we will never be able to, keep hold of the technology that the industry is teaching. So instead of that, if we teach first our student how to think, how to adapt to newer technologies as faster as possible, it will be easier for all of them to learn new technology. That is first thing. Second thing, the innovation most probably that we have implemented is why always there is a vertical collaboration. All the Indian universities will run after foreign universities for the collaborations, right? Why not Indian universities are collaborating with each other? Which is very much important. And in this collaboration, we also have to include higher schools as well. Why? Because when we listen from the industry that certain technologies need to be taught to the student, that gets taught at the cost of some subjects, which were already there in the curriculum. So then those basic subjects needs to be pushed to the lower levels, might be at the 11th and 12th levels as well. Because otherwise, fitting everything in these 4 years becomes very, very difficult. But this kind of knowledge exchange never happens. Either we will have exchange with industry, or schools will have exchange with various boards of schools and everything. But the way industry are acting as mentors in our colleges, we should act as mentors in schools, which is very much important. Then only the vertical technology stack that we have to teach to the students can be sufficed, which I think still there is lots of gap in this particular area. Second is, again, the adoption of the technology, if we see, do not has to be done in an haphazard way. Just because some other university is having this technology, so we should have that technology, and without having proper knowledges, we are adopting it, that technology is of no use to the students. So instead of that, very well-planned adoption of the technology and complete adoption of the technology is what is very, very important. And also at the technology adoption level, I feel that there should be collaboration between major institutions which are there, at least in Pune. Like for example, if Symbiosis can have a very good center of excellence for AI, so why not we can open that for other students as well. And for example, MIT can have a very good center of excellence on blockchain, and they can open it for all other colleges as well. What we all are trying to do is, I will have blockchain also, I will have AI also, I will have quantum also. And unnecessarily, we are creating too much of infrastructure burden on the institutions and then on the fees of the students. So instead of that, optimization on technology adoption is very, very much important, is what I feel. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shall I add?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, to answer to this question, innovation, you rightly mentioned, it should be in our blood. Without innovation, I think institute cannot progress. So, okay, we have a pedagogy, we get a students, we do teach. Okay, there are many challenges. To have an internalization, to become an international, to compete with an global education universities. So change in the curriculum is a must. So already there are a lot of my colleagues and previous panelists have talked about curriculum, flexi curriculum. Yes, even in our D.Y. Patil International University, we have a curriculum, flexi curriculum. So our BTech CSE program has a trendsetter program curriculum, wherein the 2 years is a common, and student will get 2 years to take a decision where he want to make his career. This is one. Innovation, to tell about innovation, there should be an multidisciplinary approach. So wherein even we have done our sitting arrangements in our university. So you are all welcome to our university to see what we have done. So even we have mixed the faculties of different schools. So there is no fixed department in the university. We have mixed the faculties so that even they discuss across the disciplines. So they mix each other, they talk each other. That is how, interdisciplinary culture can bring it to our institutes. That is one. And there should be a policy. There should be open policies. We should make it aware to the stakeholders, and we should provide best opportunity to the faculty. And every institute can adopt their own methodology. But what we do, we have something called as an underload concept, overload concept. We give around about teaching load, not more than 6 hours to the faculty. And we call as a team teaching concept. Suppose, say, if I ask to faculty to take off 24 hours, 30 hours teaching load, when he'll get a time to do a research, right? So 6-hour teaching load with a team teaching concept. Team teaching concept is a one wherein we have a faculty, we have a PhD students, MTech students, we call it teaching associates and teaching assistants, but a lot of internalization has to be done, funding has to be done. So, faculty gets a time to do a research. So there is there will be a team wherein there will be working into an interdisciplinary. So there is a lot of policies to be done wherein you need to bring in innovations. Thank you.
Thank you. So multidisciplinary approach, tinkering labs, sharing knowledge. So that's where Planet comes into place, where you're able to think beyond your institution. So a lot of innovations is something that we have been discussing all through the various panel discussions, but how do we take it to our institutions? What do we do to change the mindset of people? Because I think that's the toughest task, the implementation part of it. So if you can speak.
Definitely agree to that. The biggest challenge, I think, it's never the technology with the people. It's always people with the technology. And the mindset plays a very important role. I don't think any institution, any sector, any industry can really execute innovation flawlessly if there is no collaboration. And when we ask for collaboration, of course, that's the part of the organization culture. So what is very important is, for example, I'm just quoting Universal Business School because I've been closely working on this. We really share information. And when we do that, that information is available to everyone. So let me give you a quick example. Let's say that we have created some more verticals. Other than teaching, we are also into MDP. We are also into industry, case publications, research projects. So earlier, this particular data would be only available to the placement team. But now since it's available centrally, so definitely we all leverage and we try to deepen our relationship with the industry. So we can easily reach out. The faculty can also directly reach out to those particular employers or organizations for cases or for MDP. So what is very important, I think, when it comes to innovation is that organization needs to be resilient, that organization needs to be adaptable, and I think most importantly, the leader needs to be open-minded. And that has to percolate deep down to every single employee. And if there will not be a shared vision, I don't think in any such place ever you will be able to nurture innovation. So the culture is that very important. And let me give you a very good example out here. So what do is we recognize and reward innovation in every area. Every quarter, we do a town hall meeting, which is pan-India, and that is where we do something called as EPIC. That stands for Excellence, Performance, Innovation, and Collaboration.
And drive out this sense of fear from the minds of the students, especially with the placements coming in, the fear of recession. So we as faculty members need to be highly motivated so that the youngsters can be motivated. But what is happening is with a lot of information which is widely available on the internet, most of which talks about recession and how to face the recession and who is going to be affected by recession. I think we need to build a vision in which let us encourage a lot of positivity. Okay, I think answering a few of the earlier questions, innovation, getting it to our own institution is most important. Innovation should be, again, relevant. Innovation needs a purpose. And if our purpose in this country is we are building the nation, so we're building nation builders, then if we bringing the courses which are going to help nation building, that would be the right way that we can get innovation at the root. For example, at our college, which is a Pune Business School, we brought in courses like agribusiness management and rural management, because that's what 100 crore people in this country is all about. So once you give that purpose, and I can tell you, there's a lot of these students from the rural India, highly committed. They're very, they come from deprived sections. So they value all these things. So innovation has to be used in such a way that it creates nation building. So agri is one. The other one that we are bringing the second specialization, which is called pharmaceutical management. Now, if you really look at pharma, so much of, we've just reached 40% of our country. 60% is still not attended to. So in order to adopt innovation, we have to adopt those courses which help in nation building. And I think if we can visualize 2023 in a way that we can make education impacting the industry, it should impact the industry and study what the industry needs and work for it. Now we say industry first, whether it's the college first, education first, it's a very big debate. Get in more professors of eminence, and that will do a world of a difference to bringing in a lot of vibrance in the education system. And I think that's the vision for 2023. Let's get in more professors of eminence. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Professor Shruti, how about you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel that, ma'am, innovation has to be applied on every level. Then only there will be use of these innovations. If we apply it at one level and if we don't apply it on the next level up, then the efforts that has gone in application of innovation is completely waste. So first innovation should be on the self-learning. The role of teachers in the classroom must be changed. The teacher should not be the teacher who will teach from unit 1 to unit 10. The teacher should be one who would enhance the self-learning ability of the students is what is very much important. So shifting from the teacher's role to a mentor role is very much important. If something which Google can answer, we do not need a teacher for that in the class. So definitely the higher order thinking skills which we are trying to develop in students first must be developed in teachers, which we are not doing at all. So that shift of paradigm in the thinking process of teachers is very much important. Second is the technology adoption innovation practices. We have n number of different technologies which are available, right? But the right adoption of the technology, more aware adoption of the technology is very much needed. And in that case, I think the industry and academia hand-holding should also be done, not only for the co-teaching, not only for the placement, but we should actually use industry to understand that technology, that which technology is more beneficial for us to adopt. That is important. Third thing is the innovation in which masses perceive the institution, that also needs to be changed. We have to be the guiding lights for the parents, because currently I feel that, the parents of 11th and 12th standard students are the most confused human beings on the planet. And that way we do not do anything for them in a way. Whenever they come to our campus, we counsel them for the admissions. But instead of that, we should actually we should help them to understand the technology first, so that they can take more aware decisions regarding the admissions of their students. Because otherwise, then it also leads to many dropouts later on in the third year and in the final year. So these are the three levels which I feel that, innovation has to be brought. And plus also, if we see the Indian scenario of educational leaders, they are loaded too much with the administrative work, right? So we have to change that as well, that they can also be full-time researchers, they can also be full-time teachers, and plus some load of administration also needs to be given. So when the leader will lead by example, definitely it will have a very positive impact on the teachers as well as on the students as well. So that is also, I feel that is a very important point. And last point would be, now within the institutions, we have dissolved the boundaries between the departments, but now within the organizations, we have to dissolve these boundaries. Like just now sitting and I was thinking that why not, a person from management college can help me that how very effectively we can design the admission process, because they are the ones who have expertise in human management, not the engineers have. Right? Or why not engineers can go to the management college and help them in setting up the IT infrastructure. So these kind of collaborative, what we can say, relations between various leading organizations is very much needed, because then only the smaller engineering organizations at tier 2 level or management colleges will have a very good message from all these leading institutions. Yeah.
So, with my co-panelist, she said about we had to do a lot of internalizations and how can you reduce the burden of the faculty. To tell you, madam, so starting from with admission to getting a mark list, all things we have done are digitalizations. That has reduced a lot of burden of our faculties, even right from the admission to the attendance, to the giving, having an, their grading, all, okay, teacher will be involved, but all the process, what all the process required, not a single paper document we do it. All we do, we take a help of Moodle, we have internalized the Moodle, but this all been possible by the students. We have involved the students. We call it an internship. We ask the students to work for 90 days. It's very important since many of you are here as academicians, directors, head of the departments. So that really makes a wonder. We can share the details with you. And we have kept our curriculum open, even for the IITs, most of the universities. We have given the syllabus to them, full syllabus. Internship, wherein student at second year level, that has, even it was very difficult for me to implement it. So even I used to get a call from the parents how my kid will go to the rural area. The first internship was a rural internship, small internship, what we call. We had a grade, 2.5 grades. So the student has to go to Nana Nanigar or any of the farmer place, wherein he has to spend the time and get an idea first. Just he has to collect the ideas and the problem definitions, and he has to come here. And I call as an idea lab. We have an idea lab. We have conducted a first FDP program for all the engineering college. So Government of India has an initiative called as idea lab. So wherein student has to come here. I call as a design project. He has to come to the college after 90 days. He has to work on the idea what he has created. We have a design thinking process. So wherein across the school faculty, design faculty will come and teach generation of idea, empathy, and having a model, product, so on. So the design project, it is a non-graded course. Why? It's a one credit course. It's only pass and fail. We do not want it to pressurize the student. Let him fail. And again relearn. Again go back to the society. We call it again industry internship. Again he has to spend 90 days, wherein we have internalized helping, we have interfaced with the training and placement and the faculties and the local industries. He has to spend again 90 days in the industry and go there, and you have to apply your known methods. You have to apply what you have learned and try to solve the industry problems, social problems. You may fail and again come back, again relearn. And at 6th semester, this will happen at every even semester in summer. Again, there will be a third internship. It is of 4.5 credits. And there will be an research internship. This is how we will be involving the students, and I have seen it very closely. The young minds do the wonders. So my BTech students do better than a PhD student's work. I ask them to work on a real world problems. Do not download the data set. Try to create the data sets. It is very difficult when you work on the real world problem scenarios. So we have worked on a brain-computer interface. We have worked on the child's disabilities. And at very first level, at first year, we map the students. So my first year students, I mix the students based on their learning abilities. That has helped me learn more. Learning curve of the even average students, I can make it excellent. So that has given a lot of benefit in our teaching learning process. That's one. So I think when we involve the students, when we bring at a at one platform, when we give opportunities, this works fine. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We come to the end. We just have 1 minute, 37 seconds. Another innovation that we see here, I think it keeps telling us to keep up with the time. So we, heard a lot of best practices from each of them. And these best practices have also been innovations, isn't it? And some of these innovations have to continue. These best practices have to continue. But I think we also need to have the courage to innovate and look at a future which is 2023 and beyond. So it's said that, if you want to discover new oceans, then you should be ready to lose sight of the shore. And that's the courage that calls for, when you want to innovate. And I hope all institutions muster this courage and are able to, bring in more innovations that will be beneficial for all the stakeholders. And we will see also the economy of the economical landscape of India changing. I think that's going to be a real victory for all of us as educators. Thank you very much for this opportunity that Elets has given to us. And thanks to all the esteemed panel members for throwing light on very important points related to innovation and a future of education. Thanks to all of you for patiently listening. I understand after lunch, it is a tough task to listen to the panelists. And sometimes we, get into boring you. Probably the same points have been raised time and again. But I think here we keep hearing the same thing over and over again, and then we get stronger. I think that's what the tonic of education is. Thanks so much.
Thank you everyone for your enriching insights. I would request Abhishek Kumar Tomar, Senior Manager, Elets Technomedia, to please present the mementos to Dr. Lakshmi Mohan, Director, IT and Business School, Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Ganesh Rao, Director, Pune Business School, Maharashtra.